Well, I'm up here on the weekend, and I was getting ready to do some more work clearing the field, but I was just about out of fuel for the excavator. Had to go get more diesel in it, which brought me back toward the front of the property. And since I'm at the front of the property, this dead tree has really been on my mind. It's been worrying me. And the reason that it worries me so much is you can see the way it's leaning right now, and it's leaning pretty good, and gravity's going to take it that direction when it comes down. Well, if you look right there, what's that direction is the power transformer, and that electrical transformer feeds the house that's right over here, but it also feeds the rest of the people up the road. That includes me and my neighbors. And if this thing falls, oh, by the way, this is part of why it's bothering me so much, because it's really, really rotten. And you can see it's leaning more and more, and there's a crack spot right there in it. So it gives me a lot of concern. If you have that go down and hits that transformer, a couple things could happen. First off, it's going to knock power out, and we're going to be without power. It could be a week before we get power back. All right, Dolly, relax. Dog just scared the fire out of me. And also, it could start a fire. Well, this is the road out. So if there's an oak tree across it and a fire starts, that's also a problem. So what I'm gonna do is try and push it in this direction. I would come over here on the road and try to push it that direction, but that distance between the tree and the road is about my maximum extension with the excavator, and I'm not sure I could push it far enough that it would actually go the direction I want. There's the concern that the bottom of it could break off and it could just fall on me. The bottom of it can still break off when I start pushing on it, but because it's leaning this direction and I'm over here, it's not going to hurt me. I have a lot of experience pushing trees down. Most of the time it was to pop the stumps, to get the tree and the stump out at the same time. That's how we got our orchard cleared. I had to fire my logger, and I had to go in and I had to do it myself. So I got really good at getting the tree and the stump to pop up, which is, if you're trying to get it done, that's the best way to go, because it's a lot less work than trying to dig up the stump. What I might do is try to loosen the soil in front of it just a little bit. I don't want to get too crazy because I don't want it to fall without me being on it pushing it. But if I could get that to happen, then the dirt might give way and the tree would go with the stump instead of breaking. I'm not really concerned about the stump. I can dig the stump up later or leave it. I don't really care. My concern is that area where it's rotten on the other side, and you can see it's already coming through the bark over on this side. I'm worried about it breaking there and then going any old way that it wants to, with the gravity and the heavy weight at the top, making it still to tip onto that power supply. All of this is a little sketchy, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this thing down. I've got Jafana on the way up here. I just called her. She's gonna come on up here and help me. She's gonna help block the road. I don't want anybody having to drive up and down the road while I'm doing this. And there's Dolly, patrolling the area. I'd say that's about as good as it gets. It didn't fall on the road, didn't fall on the power supply, didn't nothing. Nobody got hurt. That's about as good as you're gonna get. So it's, I don't know if this stuff's even any good, but I'm gonna come up here and cut it up tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be worth putting in the wood stove or not, but we'll find out. Now, since I'm up here, there was that one, and right next to it is another dead oak. This one is a little more treacherous. It's not gonna fall on the power supply, but it's definitely gonna fall and close the road up one day. So since I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and push it down too. It helps to have a plan for how you're gonna do this. I'm gonna come over on that side with the excavator. I'm gonna crack soil a little bit. Then I'm gonna swing the excavator back around here. And from this side, I'm gonna push that way. I don't know if the camera overheated or what happened, but it's not on. So that went about as well as it could go. It fell over into the trees at first, and I pushed some more and it came down in the road. I was able to pick it up, pull it out of the road. No fuss, no muss. We got a few big pieces we're gonna move out of the road right now. And tomorrow I'll come down here with a chainsaw, I'll cut those up, and those will be firewood. It's about as good as it gets. Move them to the side, and then I'll come up and cut them up tomorrow into small pieces.
Yeah. Do you want to put them at the side over there, though? So we'll have the strap going?
Let's see what we can do. That's going to be heavy. Well, it's 4 months since I had my shoulder surgery. I guess I'm going to find out if I can hold a saw. I've got this log that I pushed down yesterday. I got to get it cut up. It's ugly. You know, and we'll hear about it if I don't get it cut up today. So it also is perfect for firewood for this winter. I'll probably burn it at the very end of what we've got. We've got about 1.5 cords of wood, probably 1.25 cords. So this will help supplement us, get us through winter. We should be good. Why do you do this to me? All right. What the heck? Using chainsaw did not work out for me. I couldn't keep that thing started. I don't know what's going on with it. I may have to take it into the shop. I'll tinker with it myself at first, but it's probably gonna go to the shop. I did also break the anti-vibe handle when I was pulling it out from being stuck, so that part's my fault. But not being able to run, that was wearing me out. I finally gave up. I came back home and the parts arrived to fix this door. Now we love this entry door, this Therma-Tru door. But the problem is, 4 days ago, it just stopped working right. So when I called Therma-Tru, I told them what was going on with it. They were fantastic to deal with. Fortunately, the door comes with a lifetime guarantee. As long as the company stays in business, I should be all right. They sent me the part that I needed. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this thing in here because I wanna be able to lock the door properly. It actually does still lock up. It's just not working properly. It's not supposed to look like that. So they say to use a ring wrench. Well, I don't have a ring wrench. I guess a ring wrench is like a little ring with a piece of wire that's got a hook on it, but I got a real thin paper clip. There's a detent spring in here, basically. You pull that down and it allows you to turn this knob right here. And then once you get the knob this way, you can pull this locking mechanism completely out. That is my lock. Next, I'm supposed to take the doorknob off, the handles off. There we go. This is actually two pieces. One piece is attached to the locking mechanism, and that is this section here. The other one is attached by way of this screw right here. So I have to take that screw out. This piece gets replaced. Not as easy as it looks. So this piece drives the pin that comes out. So it's time for the lock to go back in. And if you're wondering what that little finger wrench or ring wrench, whatever they call it, is, what that is supposed to do, this is flipped up and that holds the lock inside this apparatus in the door. And this little pin right here, if you pull it down, allows it to be turned so it can come out. It's only accessible from the inside, not the outside. Now if I turn this, it's inside there, won't come out. Go ahead and put this back down. And the very last thing is this lock set screw. Doesn't move. Works perfectly. Well, I messed with that saw. Actually, I messed with 3 saws. Finally got the one I was using before to start. We'll see how it goes. I broke the handle on it when I was getting it unstuck there. So the anti-vibe handle has a crack in it. So I got to replace that. That'll be fun. It's made by steel, so you know it ain't gonna be real cheap. So I'm gonna try to cut this one up. And if I can get this one, and there's anything left in the saw and anything left in me, I'm gonna go back over here and try to do that other one. Well, the saw I'm using is undersized, but the bigger saws, I couldn't get them started. So I gotta get my saws to a shop. I got some of it cut up, not all of it. Still got that other one over there. Didn't really make any progress on it. I was gonna go over there and work on that, but I am covered in sweat. I'm hot. I'm tired. I'm gonna go home, rest up, and we'll come back and finish this another day. I think that would be wise. We'll see you guys next time.